Live. Guys, welcome to my live stream. I didn't even like write anything for this because I want you guys to like see what I'm thinking, and I haven't even gone through the whole thing yet. I am literally about to trade in my FX30 right here, my A7IV right here, and my not my FX3. This is my FX3. You could see it here on my side. This is what I'm recording with. So if you here, let me bring that in a little bit better. This is my FX3 right here with my 20 millimeter 1.8. And so this is what I'm showing you guys all this stuff with. That's what I'm using right now at the moment. So I'm literally about to trade in FX30, A7IV, this lens, which is the 50 millimeter 1.4, which is a beautiful, probably my favorite lens for what it does. And this is a Sigma 24 to 70 2.8 zoom lens. And then the lens on the FX30 right now, which I almost never use, I just happen to have it on there just because I was playing with it. But this is the 50 millimeter 1.8. So both of these cameras, the FX30 and the A7IV, both of these lenses, the 50 1.4 and the 50 1.8, this Sigma lens right here, and also the lens that I'm currently recording with right now, guys. So let me walk you through what I'm thinking. You guys tell me if I'm crazy, but let's think this through, guys. So this is a 20 millimeter 1.8, phenomenal lens. It's my lens that I use the most, hands down, for all the stuff that I'm doing. Got a little ND filter on there so I can go out shoot in bright light and still stop down. Anyway, so guys, here's the deal. I use this FX30 more than anything. I use this 20 millimeter 1.8 more than anything. And here's why I have these other cameras right here. Here's why I have all of these two cameras and this. So prior to what I'm doing now, I was shooting a lot of like podcast where you have multiple people and I needed multiple angles. And when you're doing a podcast, you have to have a lens that kind of like a 35, 50, 80, ideally 50 or 85 would be a good lens. But that's why, because you want to keep the camera at a distance and still be able to be, locked in on the people that are in the podcast, so that when you have a wide shot of the podcast, you're not getting like the camera gear in that picture, right? So you want the cameras to be far away, and that's why you need that 50 millimeter or 85 millimeter, and that's why I had these. This is the right here. This is the 50 millimeter 1.4, and this one right here is the 50 millimeter 1.8. I had both of these so that I could have three angles for my podcast. I don't do so many podcasts anymore, and so I'm doing a lot more live stuff, live IRL, in real life stuff. I'm doing more live streaming. Just stuff, more things like that. And I am recording more here at my desk where it's convenient to have the camera like right here in front of me. You know what I mean? Like just like right there, so that I could, maybe adjust my aperture if I need to, or maybe I just want to move it around to kind of show you guys like something different. Or if I'm moving around, because I got my fish tanks and the other one behind me there, and I got all kinds of stuff going on. So for me, ideally, I need a lens that's wider now, and I don't do photography. Um, I do video way more than photography. So that's what I'm so that's the dilemma that I'm in. I have a camera that's great for video, but it's a crop sensor, right? And so it's not limited so much, but it's making me like, get different lenses that won't work on all the cameras. So like this 50 millimeter 1.8, it's a crop sensor lens, and if I put that on my other camera, my FX3 that I'm using right now, um, it's not gonna, it won't work. So these, and it's not ideal. And I really just want to have like a one robust system. I want it to just be straight up. Um, I want to have full frame cameras and have full frame lenses. I don't want to think about crop sensors anymore. I don't want to think about, this lens or that camera. Does this go there? Does it go there? I don't want to think about that anymore. I just want to grab the cameras that are set up and start shooting. And now that I'm focusing more on this stuff, and now that more importantly, the FX2 is out, now I'm like really kind of hyped. So here's the other thing. I have the A7IV, which is an insane camera. Okay. This is an insane camera that will last me years probably without ever having to need to change it out because it does just so many things. It does product photography that I do quite a bit because I have businesses that I run and I have products that I sell on some of the businesses. Um, and so, it was great for product photography, but it's like, dude, this is literally overkill, but it's okay. That's the first camera that I was working with. I mean, it's not my first camera, but it's the more recent camera that I had first. Then I got this FX3 when I was doing more video stuff. Then when I was doing more podcasting, I ended up getting the FX30 so that I can have a third camera. So then when I was doing podcasting, FX3 was my A camera, A7IV was my B camera. That's for both of the people in the podcast, so you can capture two people at the same time. And or I had groups of people I was recording. And then this camera would be a C camera. Well, because this was crop sensor, this ended up being a B camera on the second guest in the podcast, and then the A7IV ended up being the wide angle because it's a full frame, and ended up being a wide angle for everything else. So now that I'm not doing so much podcasting and I'm doing more IRL live streaming, recording here where I'm showing you different things that I'm doing, my fish and my own, all kinds of other stuff that I'm doing, guys. It's convenient to have the camera right here in front of me, be able to manipulate it like this and kind of come in and show you different things. And so it's just a lot easier to have that wide angle. And I'm doing, of course, tons of video. So as a result of that, I've been using the FX3 a lot. Like that's my number one go-to camera. And when I travel and do vlogging and recording the family and stuff when I travel, I'm using the FX3 a lot. That's my number one camera. And it's pretty much all I use now. Because of that, because I use it so much, I got comfortable with using this camera. And now it's annoying to use the A7IV. So the A7IV literally right now to me is like annoying when I look at it. No joke. Great camera, does all kinds of different stuff, but you want to do vlog, I'm sorry, S-Log shooting, it's a different part of the menu than in the FX30 or the FX3 right here. And not only is it different part of the menu and, it's kind of different in its own ways. It's just, the overall feel of it and the way, the buttons are set up and how you turn it on and off and where the menu is versus the other side and all this stuff. It's just annoying to me now. I'm like, I just don't even like using it. I rather use the FX30 even though it's a crop sensor. Why? Because it's set up like my FX3 and it's just easy, bro. Like it's just so easy to grab it and manipulate it and do all the stuff I want to do. I also like the screens better on the FX30 and the FX3. They're way I don't know, they're just better for me. I like them a lot better. I don't even know why, to be honest with you. I just like it better. But here's what I'm thinking, guys. So what I want to do is trade the A7IV, trade the FX30, trade the 50 millimeter lenses, both of them, the 1.4 and the 1.8, trade in the Sigma zoom lens, which is just a tank, dude. This thing is like the heaviest lens like on the planet right here, dude. Like this thing is absolutely like monstrous compared to any of these other lenses, to be quite honest, guys. Like it's just and I mean, you put this on it, it's even longer, and you extend it. Like now you got like a freaking, like I don't even know, like a Hubble telescope almost feeling thing, bro. It's like nuts. So, so that's that. Let me hold on, guys. Let me pull up my chat. Okay, cool. And I'm streaming on like 5 different platforms, guys. So just bear with me on that. So if you do chat, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm looking at them now. All right, so guys, it's a tank. I want to trade this in. I hate using this because again, I do live streaming and nobody wants to hold a tank like this on top of a camera walking around. It's just insane. The best setup that I have right now for live streaming is the FX30 right here that I'm recording with now, paired with the 20 millimeter 1.8. This lens is very light and it just pretty much will do literally like anything I need it to do. Product photography, it's no match for this setup right here. It's no match for an A7IV. Here, let me try to get it in. It's no match for this right here. This A7IV with the 50 millimeter 1.4. This right here, guys, is gangster, bro. It's insane. This is just nuts. Like the product photography I can get with this, there's nothing will get as clean as that. But it's overkill, to be honest. Like I'm taking these and no joke, like what I do with product photography, I what do you do online? You take for online products that you're selling. You do awesome product photography, and then you have to crop it, and then you have to like reduce the quality because you want the websites to load faster and actually like Shopify and different places don't even allow you to have high resolution anyway, right? So it's just majorly overkill. So here's what I'm thinking. Trade these two cameras, A7IV, trade the FX30, trade the 50 millimeter lenses, trade the Sigma zoom lens, and even trade this 20 millimeter 1.8 lens that's on the camera now on the FX3. Trade all of that in and keep the FX3 and buy an FX2 that just came out and buy a 16 millimeter 1.8. So basically replace this lens that I'm recording with now, the 20 millimeter 1.8, change that out for a 16 millimeter 1.8. And then add also the Sony 16 to 35 millimeter f4 PZ. And then I'll have 2 cinema cameras, or really, let's just call them really good video cameras. That'll be the Sony FX3 and this one right here, and the brand new FX2 that's releasing next month. I mean, it's been released, but they're going to ship next month. So it'll be the FX2, it'll be the FX3 here, plus an FX2. So they're both the same cameras and that I like using, and I'll be able to manipulate them all the same way. I'll have a wide 16 millimeter lens, and I'll have another wide 16 millimeter lens that can also zoom into 35 millimeters. And I can zoom that even more if I use the crop feature on these cameras. So essentially getting up to like 50. And then there's an additional zoom that'll get me up to like 70 millimeter, guys, because you can do the zoom with these cameras as well. And so I forget what they call it, but it's an extra zoom, optical, not optical, I don't know, whatever the name is. Anyway, and then with that Sony 16 to 35 f4 PZ power zoom, I can use these. See this rocker right here on the Sony? So this on this FX3, and right here, you see this camera, I'm going to be trading this in, but this rocker right here will let me manipulate that lens and zoom in and out with this, or I could zoom in and out with the actual like the thing itself, the lens itself. So I'll be able to zoom in with those with both of my with the FX3 and the FX2 that's going to be coming next month. I'll be able to use the power zoom on that. I'll have wide lenses that I can do my live streaming and you know hold the camera like pretty much like here. Let me see, like this in front of me, or with some kind of like a selfie stick or something, whatever it is, while I'm doing my live streaming, and I'll have a wide lens. Then with the, you guys are, some people like, well, why would you get a PZ F4, the 16 to 35 F4? Like you clearly have, you know, good cameras and good lenses. Why go to an F4? Well, it's because that thing is super lightweight, super small, and it's a 16 millimeter wide, you know, and that means I can take it out and do tons of live streaming with that. And here's the main reason why an F4, I realize now that it is good for me, because I realize, like, for example, what I'm doing right now, I realize that people, while they're watching my live streams, they enjoy seeing the stuff in my background more clearly. So instead of having an f1.8, and like, for example, if I took this camera right here, let's adjust this so you can see. I'm going to give you a real world example. If I have this camera right here with the 1.8, and I go down to 1.8 on it, now you can see my background is blurred, right? So you see me, my background is blurred. It looks great. It looks whatever, cinematic or bokeh or whatever you guys want to call it. And it's cool, but a lot of people like it like this, so they can actually see like what's going on behind me. Like they could see like all my stuff. You could see now my Porsche kind of poster in the back there. But if I go like this, I mean, it's not totally blurred out, but it's more blurred out, and it you know, it becomes more dramatic when I have this set up the way I would normally record. But you get the point. So, and just like, you know, this point that I'm proving right now, where people that are watching live streaming, they like to see the background behind me. So actually, there you could see the two examples. The same thing goes when I'm out and about. So if I'm out and about recording, if we're out at night going to dinners and parties and, you know, whatever it is that we're doing, and other kind of IRL streaming, people want to see what's happening, you know, behind you. What kind of car was that back there? You know, like when you're out and about, they want to see that stuff. Like they don't want to see that separation and have like an f1.8 or f1.4, you know, because like now that, yes, they see you and they see you talking, and as handsome as I am, people want to see all the other stuff, right? Oh man. So so anyway, guys, that's the idea. Is I can have, let me go back to this here for you guys. So there you have it. That's what I'm thinking, guys. See, like right now, you can't even see my fish back there. So I'm gonna actually go to F, like I don't even know, like F8, so you could see Sherby back here, and Sherby's gonna come up once I bring my finger because he thinks I'm gonna feed him. Look at this. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. I showed you guys feeding him. He's nuts, guys. His name is Sherby. I should have named him Hippo. He's so hungry all the time. Anyway, I'm at literally. Let me see this camera. I'm at F10. I'm literally at F10. So getting the 16 to 35 millimeter F4 PZ power zoom, it won't even matter because, dude, the only parts where you really need that one, where I would really need that 1.8 or those lower stops would be low light. And I don't, dude, I have studio lights, guys. Look, literally have, here's one light up here, and then here is. Let me get this to go back around. Here is another light up here. Like I have studio lights in here. So that PZ could literally be parked right here in my studio, and I could have it set up to where I have plenty of light. I don't need a 1.8 or 1.4 or anything like that, or 2.8. I don't even need that. Actually, I prefer to have F8. In this case, right now, you're looking at this through F10. You know, if I move some of this stuff around, then you could see the cameras here in the front. You could see the lenses. You could see my mouse that I use. You could see like all this stuff, and you want to see it. Like you see my coffee that I made. You could see my little eco jar that I made. You got Pinky here in the eco jar swimming around. You could see him every once in a while come around. You see there he is right there. You could see Sherby. And if I go even further, I can go to like F, I don't know, 22 or something. I mean, and now you could really see these guys, you know? So, and there's another aspect to this. You know, these cameras that I have the FX3, I'm going to keep that. I'm going to get the FX2 that comes out. Both of these cameras are insane at low light. So, again, more reason why you don't need a 1.8, 1.6, 1.4, or 2.8. You don't need that. I could do F4 with these cameras with the FX3 and the FX2 that's coming out next month and be totally fine. But let's say hypothetically that I'm going to go out at night and go out with Sanaz and go out with some friends, have some party nights and stream IRL. Then in that case, I'll have that 16 millimeter 1.8, right? So I'm going to trade all this stuff in, trade in if you guys are just catching on, I know I'm repeating myself, but for those of you that just joined the stream, trade in not the FX3. I want to keep the FX3. That's my favorite camera because I do video and this is just amazing for that. Trade in this 20 millimeter 1.8. Trade in all three of these lenses. Trade in this FX30. Trade in the A7IV. Trade all of that stuff in and keep my FX3 body, add the FX2, add a 16 to 35 millimeter F4 PZ, and add a 16 millimeter 1.8. So if I want to go out at night, I want to go out and about and do stuff, I could have the 16 1.8. If I really struggle in low light, because if I go out at night, I'm going to take I'm going to stream with the FX3 via USB. I'm going to stream with the FX3 and a 16 millimeter 1.8. The FX3 is amazing, like probably one of the best cameras I've ever used in low light. Probably the best camera any of us have used in low light, unless you go to some crazy 10K camera, 20K camera. And you pair it with that 16 1.8, now you got a nighttime setup if needed, if need be. But if I'm going out in the daytime and I know I'm not doing some kind of like, I don't know, nighttime stuff, party or concert or, who knows what, go to a bar, I don't know, whatever we end up doing. If we're not doing that, we're going to be out and about in the day, dude, I'll put the Sony 16 millimeter to 35 millimeter f4 PZ zoom lens on this FX3. Instead of that 60 millimeter 16 1.8, I'll do the zoom lens 16 to 35 f4, go out during the daylight and have the ability to zoom in to 35, and I'll never need to go lower than f4. I literally will probably stay in f8 because you guys want to see everything else around us while we're streaming. You know what I mean? Like you don't want the separation. We're not trying to do a Hollywood movie while we're streaming. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what makes the most sense, to be honest. And that's what I'm probably going to do. Now, let me show you some of the numbers, guys, really quick, because this is the interesting part. If I want to trade this stuff in, check this out. So let me pull this up. Look at that, guys. Look at these numbers. This is what B&H is going to give me for my cameras and my lenses. Look at this. So the Sigma lens is a 24 to 70, and they're going to give me 390, let's say $400. They're going to give me $100 for this crop sensor APS-C 50 to 1.8 lens, which I never use. I was using it when I was doing podcast recording. They're going to give me $650 for my f1.4. This is a beautiful lens, guys. Just probably one of the most crisp lens you've ever used. They're going to give me $650 for that. They're going to give me $900 for the FX3. Let me move this down. Yeah, for this thing, they're going to give me $900 for the FX3. They're going to give me $1,232 for my A7IV, this one right here, right? So, and then they're going to give me $400 for the 20 millimeter 1.8, and that's this lens right here that I'm recording on as we speak. So these are the numbers, guys. This is what it ends up being right here. So 400, there's $100. So all this 36, call it $3,700 for 2 cameras and 4 lenses. Okay. So $3,700 for that. And then if I want to purchase the setup that I'm talking about, I'll show you this right here. Then we're going to go with this right here, guys. So check this out. So I'd be trading all that stuff in for this right here. Oh man. Okay. All right. So log in. So this is what I would be getting right here. And this would come out to $5,200. All right. You take off the $3,700, right? And you're left with $1,600. So I lose 2 cameras, I lose 4 lenses, and I pick up 1 camera and 2 lenses in addition to my FX3 that I keep. So I'll end up with 2 cameras and 2 lenses that I'm going to use in a lot, insanely, like all the time. So Yeah, this one kind of logged me out there. All right, cool. So let me go here. So I'd be trading in this stuff right here. This is the setup. This is the list that I'm trading in, and this is what B&H Photo wants to give me for my equipment. And I'm about to submit this in so that they can send me, their return package, which gives me like a FedEx shipping label and all that. They're going to give me this money for my stuff, and then I'm going to pick up that other stuff. B&H. And let me just pull that back up, guys. All right, and that is, that is right here. Just a sec. And this right here, guys, is what I'd be picking up. This stuff right here. So FX2 coming next month. Right here. Sony 16 1.8 for $850, and then the Sony PZ. I'm sorry, the F4 PZ, guys. So that's the 16 to 35. So now I'll have a lens that I can zoom in to 35 if I want like a closer shot, right? I'll have a lens that I can zoom in a little bit if I want a closer shot. And then remember, guys, with these cameras, with the FX3 and the FX2, I'll be able to use, I'll be able to zoom in a little bit more to go past 35, get up to 50, and I think in some cases I can get up to like 70. So I'll have this lens for super wide and be able to zoom in, and it's lightweight and small, so I could walk around and live stream with it. And then I'll have this lens as well. Again, super wide, super lightweight, high quality, good piece of glass. And I can go out at night if I need to and utilize that lower 1.8 or 2.0 or 2, whatever it is, for low light. And then I'll have the brand new FX2, guys, which is, I'm so stoked about this camera. It's the only reason I'm doing this. And then I'll have two FXs. I'll have an FX2 and I'll have an FX3. And that way, for me, they're about kind of the same. They feel the same. Manipulating the cameras are the same. The menus are the same. Everything on the cameras are pretty much the same. Using the S-Log and all going through the menus is the same. Not like this right here, guys. The A7IV that I'm reluctant to use. I honestly, I don't even like using it anymore. So as good as it is, as amazing as it is, and it's the hybrid king, and it's this, and then all that kind of fancy stuff, I don't care. Like, I don't use it for photography. And the only product photography that I'm doing, I told you guys, is for like some of the businesses that I run a few businesses, and I sell stuff on some of them. I still sell stuff online, and on these websites and Shopify stores, you can't even use high quality images anyway. So way overkill for that. Of course, doing family pictures and pictures of ourselves and our friends and stuff here and there is great. But dude, the FX2 has the same sensor. So I can literally use the FX2 for product photography. And I can go back to this lens right here. This 16 to 35, zoom into 35. It's an F4, so I don't get the blur in the background. But guess what? All the new photography applications do for you with AI. They blur the background if you really need it. All that kind of stuff. It's everything gets creamy backgrounds and all subject separation, whatever it is you need, you can do it. So, that's just one of those things. And here, I'm going to give you an example of what I mean, because when I keep saying product photography, and this is what I mean. I showed you guys this. I took these pictures with that camera, with this literally this FX. I'm sorry, the A7IV with this 50 millimeter 1.4. I took these pictures, and when I imported them and when I uploaded them, they got the creamy background, but again, it doesn't let you. Um, Shopify doesn't let you use high, like you have to like reduce the quality to upload it. So what are we doing with all these crazy photography cameras? I know you guys are doing. Let me guess, you're doing wedding photography, and you're doing portrait photos, and you're getting the crispest pictures of your family. But guess what? I'll be able to do that with an FX2, right? What do you guys think of that? Like, does that make sense, or am I losing it? Like, I know I'm going from 3 cameras down to 2, so I'm going from 2 full frame cameras and 1 crop sensor FX30, down to an FX2 right here, the FX3 right here, the 16 millimeter 1.8 right here to replace this 20 millimeter 1.8. And then I'll have also another camera with this. I mean, I'll have one of the cameras with this one on it, the 16 to 35. Have I lost it, guys? Or I'm going from 3 cameras to 2, but I'm going to have 2 cameras that I'm excited to use all the time. They're both full frame. They both have lenses that I can use all the time. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm about to pull the trigger on this and do this right now. So, and if so, I got to get that shipping label and ship all this stuff out, and ship all this stuff out, all of this, all these 3 lenses down here, these 2 cameras right here, and this lens right here. About to ship it all out, and then I gotta wait for the FX2 to come in. And I probably, guys, to be quite honest, what I'm probably gonna do is not order this at the same. I'm gonna probably go and get this so that I at least have a lens to replace this right away. I don't have to wait for the FX2 to come in and the other lenses. You know what I'm saying? I'll just go to a local place and pick up this one so that I have a lens right away. Yeah. Why not the 16 to 25 f2.8? See, that's a good, dude, Zeus. That's a good question, bro. Because the reason why I'm not doing that is because because I'm giving up my 50 millimeter. And I want to kind of have something that lets me zoom in a little bit. Sometimes when I do like some of this stuff with these like these fish tanks and different like live streaming, I like to be able to zoom in and kind of jump in. But that's part of the reason why I haven't pulled the trigger yet, bro. Is like there's some of these little minor tweaks, man. I don't know, dude. See, now you just kind of sparked up like what one of the options I was thinking. And guys, this is what he's talking about right here. Let me pull it up. So this is the Sony. What is it? It's a 16, right? Yes, 16 to 25. So guys, this is what he's talking about, because here, let me just add it to cart so we could see it in the cart. So guys, this is what he's talking about right here. So these 2 actually right here. There you go. This is what he's talking about. So I'm thinking of getting this lens, the 16 to 35 f4, and he's saying, let me move this so I can see the chat. And he's saying, why not the 16 to 25 2.8? It gets a little bit better low light. It's a G lens as well. Just so happened to stumble across this live. I'm looking to buy an FX30 very soon for recording music videos. Would you not recommend the FX30, or you just upgrading, etc.? It's a full stop faster. Yes, the FX35 is a nice lens, but F4. Yeah, so it's like a give and take. So here's my Zeus. This is what I was explaining earlier is when I'm recording this kind of stuff, a lot of times I'm past F4. I'm like F8, F10. Like for example, or right here, bro, like on this like I'm record like this where I'm recording right now. I'm on the 20 millimeter 1.8. And let me see, can you see that in the video? Yeah. This is the 20 millimeter 1.8. It's getting all of this. But when I do these live videos, people like to see what's happening like in the background more clearly. So like if I was to go to a lower stop, you could see like the fish tank gets blurred when when my hand is here, the fish tank is blurred and you won't be able to see Sherby as much. So look at him, he's coming up right now. See right now he's blurred out. But if I go like this and I stop, I'm at like F10 now. You could see him a lot more clearly. And likewise, if I had it like facing me this way where I normally record, you'd be able to see stuff behind me more clearly. People like to see like my you see like my Porsche poster in the back, and like, and not just that specifically, but what I mean is if I'm out and about and I'm recording holding the camera right here, it will at least have like the background clear too, at like F8, F6. So that's why I'm kind of thinking like, I really don't need the F2.8. But let me pull this up, bro, so people could see. Okay, point taken. And you seem to have decent light to exactly. I have decent. You're exactly right, bro. I have decent light to work with, bro. I got watch. I got this light. I got this light. I got the freaking, I got the light outside. So yeah, I got tons of light to work with. Um, and why not wait? Also, why not wait for the A7IV instead of FX2? Should be a faster sensor. Because, bro, because right now I'm not doing much photography. I have the A7IV, and as much as I love this camera, and I had this before I had the FX3 and before I had the FX30, and so I love that camera. But now that I use the FX3 so much, I hate having to go through like a different style of a camera, like the menu, the buttons, the shape, and all of it, just in general. I like the fact that, I like the FX3, and I'd rather have another camera that's like almost exactly the same menu and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm like I hate using this camera, bro. I literally hate using it. Because like, dude, you want to shoot S-Log in this, it's like a different part of the menu than it is for the FX30 or the FX3. And having to remember it and go back and, fucking all this stuff, bro, it's just annoying. I just rather have, and you're asking about the FX30, bro, love the FX30. Sick camera. If you're a crop sensor guy, sick camera. Amazing camera, bro. Love it. But I don't want to separate my my lenses anymore. I want to just get full frame stuff and not have to deal with, having different lenses for different cameras, and I could use this here but not there, and so I just don't want to do that anymore. So that's why. So now if I make this switch and I pony up and pay a little bit more, I'll have two full frame FX cameras, FX2 and FX3, and I'll have two wide lenses, one of which I can zoom in and kind of get some of the shots that I'm going to miss out on giving up these lenses right here. You know what I mean? I literally have two 50 millimeter lenses because um, I was doing what's it called? I was doing podcasts with multiple people, and you need to have cameras at a distance capturing each guest. So I'm gonna miss having that in some sense, and so that's why I think that f3 point, I mean the 35 millimeter is gonna come in handy. But see, now you got me back, dude. See, guys, this is what I'm talking about. What he said is these two right here. These are same price, and I think they're the same weight, um, or about the same weight. Let's see. Let's see what Finnegan says. Hey, Finnegan.
Hey there. How's it going? What's up with you?
Listen, man. Does the Sony what's the weight difference of the Sony um, 16 to 35 PZ versus the Sony 16 to 25 2.8?
So the Sony 16 to 35 f4 PZ lens weighs about 353 grams, and the 16 to 35 f2.8 GM lens is about 680 grams. So there's a pretty decent difference in weight between the two.
Oh, holy cow, bro! That's a big difference.
Yeah, it definitely is. That lighter weight on the PZ lens can make a big difference if you're carrying your camera around all day or doing a lot of handheld shooting.
Bro, Finnegan just laid it out on us, bro. Like, so I think I don't know, Zeus, if you're still there, bro. That's another big reason why I will have to say no. Well, not say no. I may, who knows, maybe get it in the future if this lens doesn't end up working out as good as I want it to. But so Finnegan just told us this lens, the 16 to 35 f4 PZ, is almost on half the weight of this 16 to 25. Yeah. So that's another reason why. Um, yeah, Zeus, that's a big difference, bro. I didn't know that either. I thought they were the same. You heard me. I literally thought they were the same weight. But again, so if I'm holding the camera and I'm going to go out and about, I'm doing live streaming, and I'm going to be the next Speed, right? Um, that lighter lens is going to just crush, bro. It's going to be just beautiful in my hand. You know what I mean? Um, so guys, I think I got it. I think that was, dude. Honestly, Zeus, thanks for bringing that up and making me go through that, because I didn't even know it was half the weight, and now I feel even better about my decision. That was sick, bro. Big ups to you, bro. W Zeus, dog. Um, all right, so I've shot with it for stills and it's sharp, but I have the 2450 f2.8 and it's sweet. Yeah, bro. Yeah, the 24 to 50 is sick, especially since they're full frame, and it is wide enough in some scenarios, but running and gunning handheld, holding it in front of myself and doing like this kind of shooting, um, I rather have that 16 millimeter option to just be able to hold it closer to me right here, and it's capturing my whole face and my whole background. So here's what I'm going to do, guys. Here's my cart. I'm going to come in here and remove this option that Zeus gave us. Thank you for saying that, bro. I feel so much better about this now. And this, I think, is the sick. This is the sick setup, guys. FX2, FX3, 16 millimeter 1.8 right here, and 16 to 35 f4. So, I mean, I think I got to do this, guys. And what I'll do is I'll go get this one today. Yeah, I'll go get this 16 1.8 today at a local store at Sammy's probably. And then I'll order the FX2 and the PZ 16 to 35 f4. And and I'll basically, yeah, I'll do that. And then today I'll also ship out all of this stuff, all of this stuff right here, plus this lens right here, this 21.8. And I think that's the way. So yeah, my whole game has changed. I'm not doing so many podcasts with multiple people anymore. Yeah, Zeus, I learned something too, bro. That was gangster, bro. Thank you for bringing that up, man. That's sick. But this is why I'm doing this, bro, and this is why I like wanted to do this live, is because I was going through it, and I know other people are thinking some of the things that I'm thinking too. So we can kind of talk this out, and I, you guys can see kind of what I'm thinking too, bro. Like this is a big change, but I think it's gonna consolidate my setup, and I'm gonna be, I'm gonna just be more fluid with my recording, getting up and getting live, and recording. So I think I've kind of gone through quite a bit of the stuff. One thing that I didn't say is I love all this stuff. I got it because I did tons and tons of research, and these were the best guys. If you, dude, if you're doing portrait stuff and product photography and I don't know, whatever kind of stuff you're doing, you want sharp. This lens, guys, is like my freaking favorite lens on the planet. This 50 millimeter 1.4 G master. Wow, what a lens! What a lens that is. Like I mean, uh, it's just incredible, guys. The way it separates the background and the crispness that you get out of it, insane. Um, Sigma, versatile, nothing crazy to speak about, but versatile. This 20 millimeter, where is it? Let me bring it in for you guys. This 20 millimeter 1.8, probably the most used lens I've ever had in my life. Insanely useful, super wide, gets everything. You can hold the camera in front of you and it gets your head. I took it to Europe, took it to Greece, took it to Italy, took it to took it to Germany, went to the freaking Nürburgring with it. I out and about. I do all my live streaming with it now, and it's my workhorse. But I still want wider, especially when I can crop in the camera a little bit if I wanted to, or especially when I just would rather hold the camera like this instead of extending my arm out. I'd rather kind of keep it here to last a little bit longer while I'm streaming. I'd rather change this 20 millimeter 1.8 for the 16 1.8. And that's this one right here. So guys, there you have it. This is the trade. This is what B&H Photo is going to give me for all my equipment that I want to trade. And I think I'm going to do this, guys. So this is what they'll give me. This is what I'm buying. This is the amount right here. I'm excited for the FX2. The FX2 has the same sensor as the A7IV. So I feel like I'm getting exactly what I want. I love this camera, the sensor and all the quality of it, but I'm over the body and I'm over like the menu difference, the fact that it's different from my FX3. And now I'll have that all in one camera in the FX2. So in this FX2, it'll have the A7IV sensor with the FX body. And now I'm cruising, guys. And I'm lightweight. I'm running and gunning, having a good time, getting up and running and getting live sooner and faster. So, okay. Yeah, I think that's it, guys. That's what I'm going to do. I'm literally going to go get this lens right now. Well, as soon as I'm done streaming, I'm going to go get this lens and I'm going to order this FX2 along with this lens. And I'm going to do the trade. I'm going to do this trade here. They're going to send me a FedEx label and I'm going to literally ship this out today. Going nuts, guys. Going crazy, bro. Wow. Okay. All right, guys. Um, enjoy. Best of luck with the new gear. Thank you, brother Zeus. Appreciate you, bro. And what I'll do when I get the new gear, I'm not an unboxing guy, bro. I'm not trying to do product stuff. I'm not trying to be that unboxing guy. There's like a million of them, and they spend like, it looks like they spend their like a whole week to do one video, and I'm not trying to do that. I enjoy live streaming, but I will share this with you guys since we're like talking about it now, and it's gonna become part of this little journey together. We'll go do that. As you can see, bro, I didn't go through and give you all the specifications and all that stuff. We're not doing that. You guys can go geek out online just like I did, bro. I spent like freaking hours on that. So anyway, guys, love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for joining. Zeus, you're the man. Thank you for running through that, because you literally had me go through it and see that. And that was one of the major other lenses I was going to get. I was literally also going to get the 16 to 35 2.8. That's double the price of both of these lenses. No need for that. I don't need the 2.8, especially when I'm going to have the 1.8, the 16 millimeter 1.8 when I need it. And so there you have it, guys. Thank you. Thanks for joining the live. If you haven't, please like and subscribe. We're going to go on this journey, guys. We're going nuts. All right.